everyone, this is Rachel from StudioUs with another at-home drawing lesson for you guys. Today we're going to try something new and work with some chalk pastels to create this cute little dragon. So go ahead, grab your supplies and we'll get started. To start out, you need a blank piece of paper as well as a drawing pencil, a Sharpie marker, and a large eraser to clear off all of your pencil lines once you're all done. Our first drawing step is going to be to get the body of our dragon. I'm going to visualize the center of my page, both vertically and horizontally. Get a good idea of how high up I want that dragon's neck to start. From there, I'm going to give myself a few guide dots, curve the dragon's body around, mark out where I see the point for his back, and then it's a curvy line coming around and a straight line going down his back. So lightly sketch that in once you've got all your guide dots in there. I marked out the bottom, the sides, and the point for the back. Next we can get the tail, so I'm going to mark where it starts, how far out it goes, and about how high up I want it to go on his back. And sketch it in and loop it around. It's a little bit of a curve at the end there. We'll also add in the head, so I'm going to mark out my top, where I see it connecting down and looping around to the front of the neck. These aren't straight lines, they're all a little bit curvy. Alright, bringing in the face shape. I'm going to mark my top and bottom where I see it connecting to the face and how far out it goes. It goes out just about as far as his belly sticks out. Loop it around and draw it in. A little bit of erasing on the face, neck, and tail. I notice that on the face he's got a little line that will keep coming in to make his jawline, so we're going to leave just a little bit of that scooping in. Clear out the line in the neck, and we'll clear out the line in the tail. Next we've got his feet coming in. I notice that it's starting right straight down from where the tail connects to the body. That's a good guide to help you find where to start. And then it's just a long, narrow scoop around to get that foot. Once we've got the first one in, we can use that to help us find where the second one goes. And we see just a little bit of his leg poking out behind on this one. A little scoop for the leg. Similar shape to our first foot to get in that back foot. We're going to set up the leg for our front foot, so we've got a long curving line in the front, coming about halfway up his body, and then the second line a little bit shorter than that to set up the back of the leg. We've also got two rounded triangles to shape up these arms. So one's completely inside the body, and a much smaller one is completely outside of the body. And they line up about even. I'm going to add in our dragon wing. This one's a little bit like drawing a triangle, except for the sides are curvy. So this one curves in, the line on the bottom curves in, and the line on the side curves out. Once we've got that in, I'm going to find my midpoint, mark out 3 dots to help me get the bumps, and sketch those in. We can also add our fingers for our dragon. He's just got 2 little claws coming down on each hand. And then we can take care of the erasing on the wing, on the hands, and down on that front leg. we're going to add in the spikes going down the back of our dragon. The spikes at the top all touch each other until they start curving around the back of the head, and then they get a little bit of separation between each spike. Curving them down around the curve of the tail, and then getting smaller down to the tip of the tail. Alright, we're adding in our cute little dragon face. So 2 sideways ovals for the nose. 2 taller ovals for the eyes. Notice they're really close to each other but don't quite touch. And a little smile. You can also mark out the dragon's belly, so we've got a curve going up between those 2 arms. And then it kind of arches down, and you get a little S curve where it curves one way and then switches and curves back the other. And that connects down to the leg. Alright, we've got lines in the belly. Tall arches for the toes. Some smaller ovals inside the eyes. And then a tiny circle to add a little bit of shine to the eye. And also notice that there's a wing in the back. Oh, we forgot to draw that part, so that's okay. If you miss it, not a big deal. You can add it in. If not, get that added in there. Finally, we'll add in our background. So I'm going to start by drawing the mountain in the front. It's right behind his wing. I'm going to mark out my peak first, and then draw my lines down to get that back mountain. Notice it goes right over his spikes. Got a little cave, and we also put in the horizon line where the ground touches the mountains. Looking good so far. Let's grab our Sharpie, and we're going to carefully go over all of our pencil lines to lock those lines in so we're ready to color. So carefully trace over each line. Make sure you don't go over anything we erased. And really take your time. Try to stay right on those pencil lines. All right, we'll get the last few little details. And we're all set. Grab your eraser, carefully go over all those pencil lines, clear off all the pencil behind your Sharpie, and we're ready to color. So we're going to start by using chalk pastels or square pastels. And you want to make sure you don't let the side of your hand touch the paper. So we'll start with a light blue and color in the sky. Notice that I outline everything first and then lightly fill it in. It's okay to have that white texture up above, and if you get any dust, just give it a nice blow. Don't rub it with your finger. And then once you've got it all set in, use one finger and rub over just the blue parts to blend it in. Once you've got it blended, wipe your finger off, and we'll move on to our next color. So we'll grab our purple and start coloring in those mountains. I'm going to use just the edge of the chalk pastel to go around all of the edges where the purple touches any other color. And I want to be as careful as I can. But if you make a little mistake, don't worry about it. Chalk pastel erases very easily. So you can always grab a small eraser like the eraser on the back of your pencil and just clear it out if you make any mistakes. And remember, always, always, always push very lightly with the chalk pastels. You can see I'm getting a little bit of dust kind of dripping down wherever I color. If you push really hard and try to get it to fill in the color smoothly without blending in, you're going to make a ton of dust and it's going to make a gigantic mess. So push lightly. We can fill in those background spaces now. And you can see I'm leaving lots of little scratchy white spots around. And why we do that is we're going to go back in with our finger and smooth that out and blend it out. And that will erase all of those scratchy white spots and give us a nice smooth color, which is one of the favorite things that I love about chalk pastels is the ability to blend it out and make it look really smooth. Remember, you've got chalk pastel on your finger when you're blending it, so anywhere you touch is going to turn the color that you're blending out. So be very careful going around your edges and make sure you wipe off your finger every time you switch colors. Alright, so we're going to take our dark purpley blue and set up the shadows in these mountains. So they're just kind of on the bottom third. We'll just lightly layer that up on top of the purple, getting in all those little corners. And then once again, we're going to blend it into the purple. I take extra care to kind of blend along the line where it touches the purple. Now we've got our shadow. We can take a white and get the highlights on the mountains. I'm going to lay this on pretty thick and just use one touch with my finger to blend that in. Go back to our purpley blue and get the shadows on the opposite side of our highlights. And again, just a couple little swipes with your finger to blend that in. So we've got a couple spaces where the purple got into our dragon. So I'm just going to take a small eraser on the back of my pencil and clear those out. And you can see it's erasing very easily. It's just chalk, so it comes off the paper really quickly. So you can go in, touch up your little spikes, get everything looking nice and neat. And when you wipe off the eraser, just be really careful not to touch the purple chalk. So I'm going to take my lightest yellow, kind of a peachy tan color, and color in the wing and the belly for the dragon. Get a little dust, just blow it off. Don't wipe it off with your hand or it'll smudge everywhere. Blend in that yellow tan color. Careful not to touch the purple. Grab our yellow. We can get a shadow along the bottom of each of the lines in the belly, as well as down the side where the yellow belly touches the green on the dragon. Get the shadow along the bottom and the side of the wing. And we can also go in and get all of our other yellow spots. So that will be the toes and all our little spikes. For the small areas, I like to find a sharp corner on the chalk pastel and just use that little edge to color in. Very lightly, I'm just going to very lightly tap on these yellows to give them a little smudge. I don't want to blend them too much, just enough to soften up any chalky bits. Take a white and get the highlight on the wing and the belly. Now we'll finish up our yellows. So next we're going to take our yellowy green. Let me fix my camera real quick, I bumped into it. There we go. Yellowy green, and we're going to fill in all of the green parts of our dragon. And I'm keeping it really light and just giving it a light coat of yellow green. And you'll notice this green doesn't exactly match the color that we have on our dragon, so we're going to mix green and a little blue together to get more of that turquoisey color. Finishing up my green, I'm going to go straight into my light blue. Notice that we didn't blend the green out yet, so we're going to layer these two colors one on top of the other, and when we blend it will mix those colors together and give us that nice kind of seafoam green color that we're looking for. So I'm just going to put a light coat of blue up on top of all of the light green. You might get a little more dust than usual now since the blue's knocking off some of that green. Don't be afraid to just blow that away. There we go. Blow away your dust. And we're going to take our finger and just smudge those two colors together. If you want your dragon to look a little more blue than it is green, you can do the blue first and then the green. In this case, I wanted to keep a lot of that green, so I did the green first and then we'll add it. So next I'm going to take my dark green and color in all of the grass. Go ahead and softly blend in all of the grass so that it's looking nice and smooth. Be very careful going around the spikes on your dragon's back. You gotta get in all of those little nooks and crannies there. Get right up on the edges. Looks good. So I'm going to take a dark blue, and wherever I have a shadow on top of that green, I'm going to add a little bit more blue. And sort of like how we mixed the green and blue together to make the dragon color, when I blend this in, it will mix in with the green we already have and just make it look a little darker. Alright, to finish up my dragon, I'm going to take a gray and get all of the shadows going along the edges, anywhere that I see it's a little darker. Remember, our shadows are anywhere that's darker, and our highlights are anywhere that's lighter. So we use a darker color for the shadows, usually a white or a lighter version of our color for the highlights. And just a quick little blend to smooth out all my shadows. With a golden yellow to get the shadows on the spikes. These go right up between the back and the spikes. Just do a little tap on each spike to blend that in. We don't want to lift it too much. Get a little on the bottom of the toes too. Then we'll go in with our white and build up all of the highlights on our dragon. So I'm doing a lot more wiggling with the white to build that color up a little more. It takes a little extra white to really get that highlight to show up, so don't be afraid to lay it on extra thick. And then just one little touch to blend it in. You don't want to wiggle back and forth with your finger. That'll lift all the white off your paper. Just one little swipe, and that's good. Alright, we're going to go back in with our gray and color in our little cave in the mountain, our dragon layer. Blend that in really quick. And then our last color we're going to use is black. I'm going to very, very, very lightly put this on. Black is super, super dark, and you can see when I blend it in, it's going to be dark enough. Just a little bit of black goes a long way. To finish out, I'm going to grab my Sharpie, color in the nostrils and the black parts of the eye. I'm very careful not to rest my hand on my chalk pastel, or otherwise it'll smudge. And that'll do it. I hope you guys had a great time and love your dragon photos. Take care, and we'll see you next time.